I am, and Queen, if you would do me a favor and get the new spreadsheet up, because I'm going to want you to take the screen at some point so that we can have a conversation in terms of some goals and why those goals. And those of you that will be on the Trading Lab at the 9:30 p.m. U.S. East Coast Trading Lab, you're going to really understand why I'm talking about these goals tonight, because we're going to introduce a new asset along with the other assets that we've already introduced. We're going to introduce a brand new asset that's up 58,900% since April of 2015, so just over 2.5 years. It's up over 6,000% this year alone, but it's still priced less than 30 cents a coin. So there's a lot more growth ahead of that particular asset, and it's not just a coin. It's a lot more than just a coin. And so, but what you're going to want to have is you're going to want to start developing a coin portfolio budget, so that you can, particularly when these coins that we have or these assets that we have in our portfolio, if they're down for a while, that's a great chance to accumulate even more. So we'll talk more about that when we get to the Trading Lab. Right now, let's check up from the neck up. All right, let's check the overall health of our flagship automated Digi Profit system, which is BitConnect. And while there are other systems that we will talk about going forward, this is our flagship. This is the one system right now that shows up on the big board because it's backed by its own cryptocurrency. Right now, you can see it's nearing $900 million in market cap. I want to take a look here at coinmarketcap.com. If you come up at the very top and hit on, cryptocurrencies up here, whatever that number will be by the time you get there, what this is going to do is this is going to allow you to look at not just the last 24-hour change in the price, but also the last 7 days. And so what I want you to want to pay attention to, if you're newer to CoinMarketCap or if you're newer to our webinars. By the way, if you're here for the first time, you've never been on a live webinar before, or maybe you've just joined CRB Digi Millionaires. Maybe you've been on our webinars, but you just became a CRB Digi Millionaire member. In your questions box, put an N for new. You're brand new or you're new to the webinar. I'd love to see all of our new folks. All right. All right. Well, welcome to you. Okay. All right. So real quickly, let's take a look. And of course, on coinmarketcap.com, which is the primary tool that we're going to use to start our financial research on any of our Digi assets that we're adding to our portfolio, you're going to see here circulating supply. That means how many coins or tokens. The market often refers to these as tokens. How many tokens are in the marketplace right now? Multiply it times the price per token. All right, and that's going to give you your market cap. Okay, so we can see that Bitcoin is the premier asset in the Digi space at $69 billion. Ethereum, they're saying, ultimately is going to challenge Bitcoin for Digi supremacy. Now, we scroll down and we see BitConnect, which is number 13. Let me just stop there. That's huge. All right, so here we have a platform that we're leveraging. That's an auto Digi platform that we're leveraging that's paying variable interest on a daily basis. And it shows up on the big board as one of the top assets. All right, and not just in the top 100, but in the top 13. And when we first started promoting it back in June, I believe it was in somewhere between 18 and 21. Its market cap was about $300 and some odd million. Now it's approaching $900 million. Now, those of you that have been in Bitcoin for a little bit, at least over the last 6 weeks or so, we've seen the market have a downdraft, all right, which is very healthy because these assets can be so explosive that sometimes they can get away from us, meaning they wind up costing more than what we want to pay to build a position. So it's always healthy when we have those corrections that allow us to either get into certain assets that we weren't in before that we wanted to get into, or to double down or triple down or quadruple down in terms of building a position. Okay, So real quick with our check, we'll notice that over the last 7 days, many of these assets are starting to make some rebound. Hasn't been a huge rebound in DIGI terms, but a rebound nonetheless. Now, when you have a 3,000 plus asset up 13% for 7 days, that's a big deal. Okay, that means it's up several hundreds of dollars. Now, what I like to do is I like to compare BitConnect with some of the other top assets. How is it faring? So when the market goes down, how is it faring? I want to see that it's not going down measurably more than what some of the other larger assets are. Okay. If the market is going up, then we want to see that it's going up and there's some congruency. So in other words, we don't want to see for a length of time, of course, a day or two, maybe even a week, you can have some anomalies. What we don't want to see is we don't want to see that Bitcoin is up, 30% and BitConnect is down 30%. Again, there'll be some anomalies, all right, that will happen. But that gives us more confidence in the health of BitConnect. The one thing that we've got to understand about BitConnect is its appeal right now has been to those in either the marketing space or those that are just getting into the Digi space or what have you. Now, again, there's going to be a trip to Thailand next month where we'll have boots on the ground. It's their 1 year shindig. And so we'll be able to come back and give you more information about BitConnect and what our thoughts are as it relates to her on the long term. Right now, we see nothing that would alarm us. Every day, every passing day, our confidence in BitConnect grows and grows and grows. Pay attention real quickly over here. Over here, you see your for the last 7 days. So Bitcoin's up 13%, Ethereum's up 13%. Ripple's up almost 13%. Okay, Litecoin's up 14%. Neo, which had gotten beaten down quite a bit, up 73%. I haven't checked any news to see why that is. And let me tell you, one of the things you're going to see, this happens a lot in the Digi space, where you will have an asset that will just absolutely explode on you. We saw this happen with Monero a few weeks ago. Monero had been trading in the $45, $50 range, and then boom, over a period of just a few days, it skyrocketed well over $100. And for a top 10 asset to be up 100% is a really big deal over that short period of time. We've seen the same thing with Zcash, skyrocketing 73%. Again, for a top 20 asset, that's a pretty big deal. And so we can see BitConnect is up 19.21%. So again, it's in line, obviously not up 73% like a couple of these anomalies that you see here, but it's certainly in line with what we're seeing the other bigger assets doing. We were able to capture some BitConnect coin a few weeks ago when we had the nice little downdraft at $96 and then at $100. We did quite a bit in the 105 to 110 range. And so now, now to see that up to 131.17, boy, it feels real good. For those of you that are part of our DIGI Millionaire co-ops, we, again, in the ranges. Now, with the co-ops, we made some purchases before the downdraft in the 130 range. Then when it went down to 120 and the 110s, we got some more. And we're actually looking to stake those. We've got the computer set up. We're just waiting to have the BitConnect coin in those wallets long enough for the staking process to start. Once we see how that staking process works, then we'll be able to come back to our audience and say, hey, you may want to consider buying some BitConnect coin, the coin itself, and actually staking it. We just don't have enough information yet to be able to say, hey, if you stake it, this is what you can expect, so on and so forth. But we'll have that information in the coming weeks. Real quickly, as it relates to the payouts with BitConnect, remember this is based on market volatility. And so the more volatile the markets, the more we're going to get paid out. When there's not much volatility, we're not going to get paid out that much. Okay. Now, when you come here, notice that these are going to be 2 days in arrears. So, for instance, what we got paid out on the 27th was based on what happened on the 25th. So we'll come down here and we'll see. All right, so we'll see that on the 25th, what do we have? Quite a bit of volatility. The markets were up, significantly. So what did that mean? A couple of days later, we get a really nice payout. But then on the 26th, okay, very little volatility. For Bitcoin to move 0.82%, whether it's up or down, is a very small movement in Bitcoin terms. If we come out here to the 22nd, for instance, it only moved 0.13%. All right, so that would have paid out on the 24th. Let's see if we have the 24th here. Yeah, all right, you see that? So on the 24th, very little volatility. Okay, now here's something that you can do is there is this real-time interest chart right here. And if you click on the real-time interest chart, this will give you a sense as to what to expect, that next day in terms of what they're going to post as our interest. And so you can see here, market hasn't moved much today. All right, we had a height up here, and then it went down, and a height up here. So right now, we're not going to be expecting a huge payout from today's movement. There just hasn't been a lot of movement today. And so once again, if you take a look at it over the last 24 hours, you can see there's been basically no movement in Bitcoin pricing. Remember, however, so you get a variable interest rate, and remember that when you come, and we've got this link in your back office, and Queen showed you, I think Queen showed us how to find this link the other day. I may not be on the right page to find it. If you're not back office, just go under BitConnect calculator. You've got this link there. Okay. I always like to look at my numbers looking at the last 6 months, which has been an average per day, 7 days a week, of 0.89%. Again, it's going to fluctuate. You're going to have a day like this, and you'll have a day like this, and you'll have a day like this, and a day like this, and so on and so forth. Okay. So right now, we continue to see nothing but great things about BitConnect. And again, we'll have boots on the ground in Thailand this time next month. I believe it's October 28th. I believe so. All right. So so once that trip is over, then we'll come back and give more of an accounting to our audience about BitConnect. I do want to show one thing real quick, and then I'm going to have Queen take the, I feel a lyrical miracle, take the screen. Gosh, that boy, Golden Silky vocals. He's got the country music thing down, the Conway Twitty, Randy Travis thing going on. And he's a hip hop mogul. My goodness. I told my wife I got to be careful. I can't display all these talents on the webinar because I don't want people to get jealous. How could heaven send so many talents upon one dude? All right, so I hope nobody will get jealous. What am I looking for? Okay. You know what? We'll come back to that. Hey, Queen, let's go on and have you to take the screen. If you would, please. I want to show something as it relates to the numbers and a goal that I want you to consider as it relates to your BitConnect enterprise. Queen, are you with me?
I'm with you.
Okay.
I was just getting rid of something.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. So Queen, here's what I want to do. All right. I want hold on, let me pull up my calculator.
While you're trying to figure that out, let me grab if just almost, well, not on all the pages, but just about any page that you're on, if you go down to the bottom, you'll see links. and then volatility software. Link, volatility software. Once you see this at the bottom of the page, then you know you're on the right, on a right page. It is not on every page, but on quite a few pages. Okay.
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, Queen, I'm ready when you are. Doggone it.
All right. Here we are on the spreadsheet.
I would like you. Let's do 10-10.
Okay.
And I wanna see how long it takes from the 10-10. Let's go a year out and let's see where we are on that. I'm gonna be looking at the daily earnings. I know where I want to be on the daily earnings. Okay, all right, good. So show me daily earnings at $267 a day.
267
Yes.
ish.
Ish.
Okay.
Okay.
Somewhere around 331.
Okay, so 331. So then do me a favor and let's go back to the 100. 331 on the, all right, and let's go back to 100 and let's see how long it takes to get to 267-ish a day.
Back to, the 100. Okay, sorry. Well, that one's going to be a while.
Yeah, that was going to take a while, I know.
Uh, 260. Here we are at 269.
643 days.
643.
Okay, so we had 331 on the 10-10. And we've got 643 on the 100. Now let's do the same thing. Let's go to 5,010 and then 10,010. I'm looking for 267-ish.
Okay.
Okay, so we're talking.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, that's not right, is it?
No. Wait a minute. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Am I putting? Oh, I did withdrawals in here. Half withdrawals, excuse me.
Okay. I'm going somewhere with this, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to see the numbers.
I don't know if I just cleared it or not. No, I didn't. I got to do it again. Sorry about this.
Okay. Okay, so while Queen is doing that, let me just tell you what I'm wanting to look at. Okay, $267 a day in earnings roughly gives you let me make sure I'm doing that right. $8,000 a month. 267 times 30 gives you roughly $8,000 a month. Okay, we've been working on the video sequence for our marketing, and we've been comparing in that video sequence.
Oh, okay, now, never mind.
Got it?
No, because I evidently did some things on this spreadsheet that I didn't mean to do on this particular spreadsheet. Because their reinvestments are not the same. They're matching the half off. Give me go ahead and talk.
Okay, all right. Okay. So in working on the video sequence for our email follow-up sequence that you're going to be able to leverage, we've been looking at when we get to the section of the sequence where we're dealing specifically with BitConnect, we're looking at two accounts. We're looking at an account that has no referral activity, therefore no commissions, and so all of the earnings are strictly based on the the daily earnings, the daily interest that it's earning, and which is very impressive. We've got an account, for instance, that started on July the 23rd with $1,010, no commissions whatsoever. 2 months into it, it was up at an active balance of $1,910. And when you do the math with an average month, and this is not including further compounding, this is just, if they took everything out at that point, we're talking about an average of $510 a month. Okay, so essentially that person is about 2 months in. If they wanted to go to a 100%, let me put everything in my pocket, in about another 2 months, they would have recouped their $1,010. So they'd be 4 months in. And then going forward, everything would be pure profit. Now, that's not what they plan to do. I just want to highlight just how potent the BitConnect system is, okay? Now, so let me give you those numbers again because I'm not typing it in right now. Queen, how about we do this? Let me take back the screen, and then when you're ready, you let me know.
Okay.
That way I can actually type these numbers in for folks so they can see, okay? Here we go. All right, so what we have is an account on, an account on June 20, excuse me, that's not right, July 23rd, I'm sorry, July 23rd. All right, so it just passed the 2-month mark a few days ago. And right now it's got an active investment. It may be a little bit more than this now, but when I did this last video recording for the sequence, it had a balance of $1,910. Let's do it here. I've got it right here. There we go. 1930. I'm sorry. All right, so it's got 1930, and it's made $981.56. I think. I'm not sure. Maybe we did this yesterday or the day before. All right. Certainly no earlier than the 26th. Okay. So this is very, very potent. No commissions whatsoever. They are compounding, and then assuming they continue to compound, let's say for the next couple of months, in a couple of months' time, they're probably going to be at a pace where they're earning $1,000 a month in interest. So fantastic. Okay, now let me show you another account where there is referral activity and therefore referral commissions. This person is not a recruiting guru. They've referred a few, their few referred a few, and the few referred a few, so on and so forth, okay? This account started a month earlier on June 28th, so not quite a full month, but close enough. June 28th, the other account started on July 23rd. So this account started on June the 28th. The difference was there's been some referral activity. They started off with $1,150. They have not invested any more money out of their own pocket. Everything else has come from profits, okay? So now you see what the active investment is. Right now, just from the average daily variable returns, they're at close to $4,000 a month in interest. All right, that's a big difference from this account that, yes, it started off with $100 less, $140 less, and it started almost a month later. But the big difference in the two accounts are those commissions, okay? And you can see they've earned $18,636 in a combination of the interest and the commissions, okay? Now, the reason I want to, Queen, are you ready?
I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, all right, so now let's go back to Queen as she takes the screen. My gosh, woo, that boy. All right, so we're looking at, now we're at 5,010, and how long does it take us to get to 267-ish? 142.
On the daily earnings, it would be somewhere around 145, 146.
All right, and so roughly,
yeah.
roughly how many months is that? 35?
It's 3.5 months.
Huh?
Right, 4.5 months.
Wow.
120 days is 4 months. So, you know.
Okay. Fantastic. All right.
15 days.
Let me make a note of that one. So that one is 146 days.
I'm sorry, that's almost 5. That's almost 5 months because 150 is 3 months. It's 5 months.
Okay. So going on 5 months. All right. And this is assuming compounding daily, but no commissions. Okay. And now let's do the 10,010. It's not going to take long at all to get there on that one.
No. Okay, here we are at day 75.
Oh my gosh. You're still within the 120-day contract period. So you're talking 2.5 months?
Okay. Exactly, 2.5 months.
Okay. All right. So let me share with you as I was doing doing those recordings, and I looked at that particular account. We'll stay here, Queen. I looked at that particular account that's now at I think what was it, a $16,000 active investment or something like that. And I know that person's goal is to get to roughly the $25,000 mark in the system, because that should generate with the commissions they're getting right now. Actually, even without commissions, that should generate the 8,000 and some change, and then with commissions even more. And so here was their plan, is to initiate at that point the 50-50 strategy, where you withdraw out 50% of your daily earnings. And obviously, you can do this well before then. Okay, I just want to give you some food for thought. I want to stretch your vision. Where you draw out 50% of whatever it is that you're earning, between whether it's just interest because you don't have any referral commissions, or interest and commissions. You know, if you start building a referral network, which obviously is what we want to help you to do with the lead capture pages and the video follow-up sequences and all that other good stuff. Okay. So imagine if you were generating, let's say, $8,000 a month, because that's what that 267-ish comes up to on a 30-day basis, about $8,000 a month. And if you were withdrawing out 50% of that, roughly $4,000 a month. Okay, now follow me here. What if at that point you had 2,000 of that just went to your family's budget? Okay, whatever, you know, pay the mortgage, accelerate some debt, date your spouse, you know, do something constructive, obviously. Okay. Ladies, get your nails done, your hair did, dudes, go out and play a round of golf and what have you. Okay. All right. So let's slice that in half, Queen. And let's say that half of this is just an idea. This is just an idea. You're big boys and big girls, so you come up with what works best for your family. $2,000 to your family's budget. Okay. But then that leaves you another half. And so, Queen, let's slice that in half. This is what you have remaining for the month. Let's slice that in half. Okay, so now look at this. If you took half of what was remaining and you applied half, you know, this $1,000 here of the 2,000 that was remaining to your coin portfolio budget. So now every month, you know, you have resources to either take advantage of a new asset that we may talk about on our trading lab, or maybe there is an asset that we've already discussed, like the one we discussed last week and week before. That particular asset is on sale, meaning it's at a better price than what our initial entry price was. And now here's where we have to think unlike the sheep, unlike the herd. Okay, what the herd does, if they buy something for $2.56 and it goes down to $1.80, they panic. Oh my gosh, I'm down however much percent. No, we say fabulous. Let's buy some more because we liked it at $2.56. We're going to love it at $1.80. Let's buy some more at $1.80, so we can start building that position in that particular currency. Hey, Quinn, could you pause the screen real quickly and pull up CoinMarketCap? Because what we see in the DIGI space that is so different than any space I've seen in terms of investing, whether we're talking about the Forex or the stock market, is we'll see currencies kind of meander for a while, okay? Good. And let's hit, let's go up to the very top and hit all the currencies so we can see the change over the last 24 hours. There we go. All right, let's scroll down just a little bit. We'll do it slowly. We'll do it slowly. All right. Let's get to something that's an anomaly. So all of a sudden we see 71%. What is that? Is that NEO? Okay, so NEO, for instance, all right, and NEO is not an asset that we have talked about in our trading labs, but NEO is something that I've been watching for a while, okay? It's up a whopping 71% for the week. We see this a lot where an asset, I started following NEO at 30. And Queen, do me a favor, click on to the left onto NEO, right beside where it says 9. Yeah, left click there. And then let's scroll down just a little bit and let's click historical data. And then let's click, scroll down a little bit more. Let's go over there with the date range and do all time. Okay, now let's scroll down just a little bit here. Now I want you to pay attention to these columns real quickly. All right, stop there if you would, Queen. All right, so you obviously see the date. You see the open. The open means this is when everything reset for a 24-hour cycle. In the markets never close, okay? Well, I got to hurry up. The markets never close, but there's a 24-hour cycle. So that's the price at which the asset opened. Then you've got the high, then you've got the low, then you've got the close. All right, so Queen, let's scroll down just a tad. And I want to see, I'm going to pay attention to the low. I see a low of 1698 on the 22nd. I see a low of 1332 on September 15th. Let's scroll down a little bit more. All right, stop on, all right, so we can stop right there. All right, look at September the 8th. The high on September the 8th was $30.59, okay? So let's say someone had purchased NEO. And again, this is not a recommendation. This is not something that we are adding to our portfolio in the trading labs right away. Maybe something we look at down the road. But $30.59, okay? Well, then when you come up to September 15th and you look at the low of September 15th of 1332, you know, you're like crapola, right? I bought something at 30 bucks and it's down at $13.32. Hey, I want to cancel my CRB DIGI Millionaire membership. This thing ain't working for me, okay? Instead of being like the herd that gets afraid and scared, what should we be doing? We should, if we like it, at 30, go on, Queen.
Happy, go back and buy some more.
There you go.
I mean, Doc, just think about Monaco. We bought it at like $2 and some change, maybe. Right. It went down, and then, whew, it shot up.
It went crazy, didn't it, Queen? It went
crazy. It went from went from wherever it went down to, all the way up to $20.
Yep.
And okay, so how much of a profit is that, Doc?
Well, from $2 to $20, you're talking 10 times your money. That's 1,000% return.
That's exactly right.
Okay. All right. So now you say, so NEO went down to 1332, and while it came up, it still meandered a while. But now all of a sudden, over the past week, it's right back to where potentially someone may have purchased actions a little bit higher than that now, okay? So we want to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to position you to make as much as you have so you've got some free cash flow to really build out your coin portfolio. And yes, that was another lyrical miracle. My gosh. I don't even try anymore. It just happens.
It just happens.
So let's go back to the software. So what I want to get you to is where you've got $1,000 a month just for a coin portfolio.
Are we talking back to the spreadsheet or software?
I'm sorry, not the software, your spreadsheet. Thank you. Okay. I want to get you to the point where you've got at least $1,000 a month that you don't have to have for your family budget, $1,000 a month for your coin portfolio, so that when we are in these assets and these assets are down or they meander for a while, okay? And a lot of that has to do with, what's happening with Bitcoin. Well, we saw Bitcoin at a height of $4,900 a coin, almost 5,000. And then, it goes down. Bitcoin tends to lift the boats. It tends to sink the boats. All right. So if Bitcoin is down significantly, many of these other assets are going to be down. Okay. That's when we want to buy. That's when we want to buy. Okay. All right. So I wanted to share that with the, so if you did the 50-50 plan, then getting to $8,000 a month in revenue in BitConnect, if you withdrew a half of it, that means you withdrew $4,000 a month. That allows your BitConnect account to continue to grow, so that next month, as you're starting to withdraw, you're drawing out even more. All right, because your account is ever growing. But again, we're not going to compound to the moon. All right, we're not going to compound to the moon. So think that through, those of you that have access to the calculator in your back office. Obviously, if you're a CRB, you have that in your back office. Take a look at where you are now. And even if you had to start at a much lower rate because you didn't have 1010, you didn't have 5,010, you didn't have 10,010, then what I want you to consider doing is whenever you have some extra cash that's not going to hurt your family, put that into BitConnect. Do another $100, and then another $50, and another $75, or what have you, until you're at the point where, let's say you're at, at a 1010, for instance. Queen, let's go back to the 100 for just a moment. And how long does it take us to get, without any bonus interest here and no commissions, how long does it take us to get to 1010? Now, if you follow what we're doing, even if you have to start small, especially once we start to roll out the marketing.
521 days.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is why you don't want to just start off with $100 and just leave it there. Okay, if you had to start at 100 because that's just where you are, and you've got some free cash flow, grow that baby. All right, grow that baby, so that you can get to the overall game plan as quickly as you possibly can. Now, that's going to change again for everyone. But again, if you were generating $8,000 a month to about $267 a day, and you withdrew half of that, $4,000, and you put $2,000 of that towards your monthly budget, and you took $1,000 for your coin portfolio, and you did $1,000 for marketing, you're going to be unstoppable. Because with that amount of marketing, and now you're building your own coin portfolio that you own and control. Obviously, you should be building it up to, well before that point. But now you've got more resources each month. And chances are, even if you're starting small, even if you're not a part of the advertising co-op just yet, when we have everything ready to go very shortly, the least thing you're going to be able to do is to provide some very quality training material to whomever, maybe somebody on Facebook or what have you, that will have your links embedded. So Queen, let's go on and take back the screen right now. and let me show you some things that you don't see this yet, but you will start seeing this. You start seeing some of these as early as next week, okay? So I wanted to show you what we're doing from a marketing standpoint, okay? All right, so what we're going to have is we'll have a minimum of a 30-day video sequence. So when someone opts into one of your capture pages, by the way, Danielle, my programmer did tweak things so you can add your third-party autoresponder. I don't have time to cover that right now, but for those of you that have a third-party autoresponder, if you don't know how to connect your third-party autoresponder to the lead capture pages, come in under CRB Explained, and then scroll all the way down. In the very last video, we show you how to associate your third-party autoresponder, particularly if you're using Aweber, okay? And if you don't have a third-party autoresponder yet, we're going to highly recommend that you get one. We're going to recommend that you get Aweber from your back office under your affiliate center. That's the one that we've had since I think 2003 or 4, and maybe 2000. It's either 2003 or 2004. So well over a decade. And while we've used GetResponse in a very limited fashion and a couple of other autoresponders, I can't provide a bunch of support on those other autoresponders because I just haven't used them. Aweber has been what we've spent our time using that to build our own list, okay? But real quickly, give me a moment. That's not. Okay, so one of the big challenges that marketers have in getting sales or generating recruits, one, is they don't have a lead capture mechanism. Most people are not going to join you or buy from you the first time they see and hear your message. And I see it all of the time, and you see it all of the time, where marketers are simply screwing things up. They are they'll send out an email or they'll do a post on Facebook. They will announce the name of the offer prematurely before they've given any value. And then people go over to YouTube. Or even worse is when someone sends promoting a particular offer, they send someone a link to YouTube, to somebody else's YouTube channel to watch a video. Please don't do that. Don't do that. You are just begging for your person to join with somebody else. Please don't do that. My gosh, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, okay? When you send someone to YouTube to watch some presentation on YouTube, there's advertisements on YouTube. There's some other marketers, all right, that they are advertising, paid advertising, targeting that keyword of that particular offer to get in front of folks that are going to YouTube to check out that deal. One. Two, there are likely, if it's a hot offer, there are likely some good YouTube promoters on YouTube. As it relates to BitConnect, my gosh, there are some phenomenal YouTube promoters on BitConnect. And some of them post new content every day targeting BitConnect. Now, what does that mean? By them posting content every day, by them having a large subscriber base, by people engaging on their channel, whether it's positive or negative, there's chatter on their channel. Guess what that does to their SEO of their video? Gosh, it just happened again. I don't even try this stuff and it just comes off my tongue. All right. Guess what happens to the SEO of their video? It moves their video in a better spot. So here you and I, by the time I came along with BitConnect, there were so many quality videos on BitConnect. Boy, it would have taken a while to start to rank on the first page or the second page or the third page. Now, if you're not cutting content and putting it on YouTube on a daily basis and doing stuff they call backlinks and all this other stuff to get your SEO rank up on YouTube, chances are you're going to be buried on page 73. So how do you compete? Don't send people to YouTube to talk about BitConnect, because when they find somebody who is a very skilled marketer, a very skilled YouTuber, and they just know you because of Facebook, they don't really know you. They're a Facebook friend of yours. They don't really, it's not like your family. It's not like they have any special allegiance to you. Then when they decide to join, they join that dude or that dudette. Or if they go straight to the BitConnect site, you'll have people on the BitConnect site say, hey, join me and I'm going to give you a rebate. I'm going to give you a part of my commission. Well, how are you going to compete against that? So what we want to have is something totally different. An understanding that most people are never going to join or buy the first time they see and hear the message. We've got to have a robust follow-up sequence. And so with each email, there won't be a whole lot of verbiage in the email. We want to get them to clicking the link. And when they click the link, they're going to go to a training page. And a training page will look like this, okay? Discover how just $100 per asset could have grown to $29,354 in Digi value in 1 year. So the email will be congruent with the messaging here to get them to click. Then when they click on, we've got a video there, okay? Never say my name, so nobody knows how to connect with me or the voice behind the system. They don't even hear doc, they don't hear DigiDoc, they don't hear funnel, they don't hear none of that stuff, okay? Just valuable content, okay? The other thing that we do is, what we know is that the people that we really want to attract are those ones that are going to take the time to consume content. So years ago, when I built virtually everything via YouTube and live webinars, we were promoting a particular offer. And at that time, I would, I would post my my phone number. I certainly am not going to do that now. I'd be inundated. I'd never get anything done. But I would post my phone number and, hey, if you're looking for a sponsor, I'm your guy. Come and join me. Da 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 da. Okay. And where was I going with that? I was going somewhere with that. Hold on. Let's see if that birdie comes back. Oh, okay, there we go. Thank you. So then what would happen is, as people would join me, I would get people connecting with me saying, I just spent 4 hours on your channel watching your videos. I just spent 2 hours on your channel watching your videos. And guess who wound up being the biggest contributors, maybe making the largest investments into the system, maybe even building teams or what have you, those people that consume the content. So keep this in mind. Educated consumers consume more. Educated consumers consume more. None of these videos will be YouTube videos, so that there's no place for them to click and then go to YouTube and then get off message and then find somebody else's YouTube video and then see somebody else's ad, all right? No ads, no nothing, all right? But what we will do is we will provide other video content that's congruent with what we just talked about. So for instance, this is somebody opts in, they're immediately going to get a link to watch a 2-part training module series, which is what we have in your back office now, okay? This is now going to be the email the very next day. This is the first, 1 day after they have opted in. All right, so we've got the training content here. There will be a call to action button. Now, once they're in the email series, the call to action button is going to show up much quicker. And each page will have its own call to action timer. So I forget this one, what the timer is. It might be like 6 minutes, and then the timer pops up, and then the call to action button pops up. They click on the link. They can now take the test drive, join you in BitConnect, join you in our companion system, all in one fell swoop, okay? But we will always have, hey, just in case you missed it, all right? So just in case you missed our 2-part module training at $297, here's that information. Why? So that they can consume content, because they may very well get intoxicated by this content. All right, we're not doing anything YouTube-wise as it relates to the email series. Now, we might do some advertising on YouTube, all right, but as it relates to the email series, none of these are YouTube videos. And then they may go on and consume more content right here, which just increases their believability. All right, so then the next day, for instance, all right, so here is the next day, 67,127% return in just 2.5 years. You know, so the email would be congruent with this, all right? And so here's today's training. In case you missed yesterday, you can catch yesterday. And so this one, we had to do this when we sent out a test, I think it was last week, with the headline, scary, down 99.05% in just 7 days. Our open rates on that were like 4 times our average open rate. So we've got that in there. But once again, we'll also include yesterday's training. That way, we don't expect people to open up every email every day. That's not normally what happens. You get somebody who they'll go 3, 4, 5, 6 days, and then they'll open up an email maybe on day number 7. Well, we want to make sure that we've got quality content on whatever day they open it up, all right? But if now all of a sudden they become a content connoisseur, we already have content for them to continue to consume. Each one of these pages will be pages that you'll be able to use in your back office. So not only will it be in your autoresponder or set up for your autoresponder, you're going to be able to come in your back office, not here yet, all right, but you'll be able to come into your back office, and then under my web pages. And once this is up and running, we'll let you know. Somewhere down here, it'll probably say something like audio video pages. So this is when we were promoting the advertising offer. All right, so just like here, these are audio video pages, okay? These are essentially the pages that we had in the video follow-up sequence before. And what you could do is you could take one of these, for instance. Give me a moment. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And it's its own essentially sales page, which will then have a call to action button that will pop up. We'll have the same thing for the Digi space. So for instance, if you have an existing list of some sort, with this email list, you've got a Facebook following, you've got a Twitter following, maybe they're not in your email list, maybe they're not in your email list, but you've got them in some type of following, okay? Then you're going to be able to go back here, and we'll have it in chronological order, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, so on and so forth. But what we've done with each of these messages is we have it where they could stand on their own. We'll start off, for instance, with a little review of the previous, what we've been talking about, but that particular training can really stand on its own. Essentially, every message that will go out from the video sequence is it's a training message that stands on its own, though it builds on the back of what we've talked about previously, which is why we will include, hey, this is, in case you missed yesterday, here's what we talked about on yesterday, okay? So the goal is not just to get people to join, it's to get the right people to join. The goal is not to get people just to join, it's to get people that buy in. All right. So with that being said, go on and thank you, Queen. Go on with your Q&A. We got a few minutes here.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready when you are, Queen.
Okay. Give me. Okay. What? Somebody's asking, what was the exchange that allowed lesser amounts in fiat currency in U.S. dollars to be withdrawn?
I don't know if I understand that.
I'm not totally sure either.
I could tell you.
I mean, basically they're saying that there's, you know, like evidently there's a, I don't know. Never mind.
With the exchanges, you're not, with GDAX, you can send in fiat in the form of, you know, fiat can go from your checking account into GDAX, which is owned by Coinbase. So if you have a Coinbase account, they'll just bring in your Coinbase credentials. And
No. It means if you have GDAX, I mean, if you have Coinbase, all you do is type in gdax.com and log in with your Coinbase credentials, and then you have your GDAX account. I mean, it may ask you to verify, but basically log in. Don't create an account, just sign in.
So you could go from fiat to a GDAX account, and there you can buy Bitcoin, you can buy Litecoin, you can buy Ethereum, and you can trade them against each other there. So I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about. And if you're talking about Poloniex or you're talking about Bittrex, they probably all have a small minimum, but I'm sure it would be small in terms of withdrawing from Bitcoin or from Ethereum to your Bitcoin wallet or to your Ethereum wallet. But it wouldn't be a big amount. I don't know what those amounts are, but it wouldn't be a big amount. Next question. I hope I answered that. I hope you got your answer.
Taking out crypto, converting to US dollars. I'm still, GDAX is the only exchange that will allow you to go from it to your bank account, to, you know, to my knowledge right now.
Now, Kirk, what you might want to do, okay, and we talked about this a few weeks ago, and if you are a CRB member, I'll see if I can find it real quickly, but we talked about, particularly if you're in the U.S., using BitPay. You can get a debit card with BitPay, and you can very quickly convert from DIGI, particularly Bitcoin, from Bitcoin, and have that go to your BitPay debit card, and then you can use that debit card anywhere a debit card can be used. You can use it at an ATM. You can go to the grocery store, use the debit card, and get cash back. You know, how you would normally use any other debit card, and I'm sure that's under September 2017. So BitPay is a favorite way to convert Digi into spendable cash. If you're not in the U.S., you've got some great options. I don't know if you can use BitPay if you're in the U.S., but I know you can use Spectra Coin. You can use, go and Google debit cards. Many of the debit cards in the marketplace now are for folks that are not in the U.S. So you've got a lot of options. Let's see. All right, next question, Queen.
Is it okay to buy Bitcoin when market is up, or better to wait when market is down when trading for other coins?
Well, you would prefer, obviously, to buy Bitcoin when it's down, all right? Right now, she's in, what, the $4,100, $4,200 range?
Yes.
All right. But I can tell you this, you know, so yeah, it would have been great if someone had made some purchases when it was lower than 4,000. I just don't know if we're going to see that right now, because here's what we've seen with Bitcoin. We'll see her hit an all-time high, and then we'll see some type of retracement. All right. And sometimes, like we saw in July, we saw a fairly significant retracement over a decent period of time, about 4 to 6 weeks. It just seems like the market just kept, having some challenges. Okay. And then when she starts to go up, she can go up fast. I mean, she can go up really, really fast. She can have a 15%, 20% day. Well, the thing is, if she goes up 10%, all right, for a day, she's going to tack on 400 points. Now Bitcoin's going to be at 4,500 or so. I expect her to eventually challenge her her highs at close to 5,000 a coin. So at this point, I'm looking to get into Digi. And if I don't have any Bitcoin, I'm getting some at this point. Might it go back down? Yeah, it may go back down. What do we see it go down to? 3,000 and something? 38. Did it go down to 3,600? Let's see.
What, this week or?
No, just over the past couple of weeks.
Oh, it went down to just under 3,000. And can
Well, yeah, don't expect that one. Don't expect that one.
It has come right back up. I don't expect it to go back down that low either, but especially after it hit the 4,100, and then it's been holding.
Yeah. So back on September the 15th, it dipped just under 3,000. But then look, this was the low of the day. Look at where it closed that day. It hit this. Buyers came in. The whales started to come in. Okay. And as a matter of fact, Queen, you can see. Look at that volume. The volume of Bitcoin transactions this day was $4.1 billion. Look at that relative to these other days. What does this tell me, Queen? What does that tell me? What do you think that tells me?
No, that tells that a lot of people bought some Bitcoin that day.
There you go. and not just some people.
Well, there were some major players that bought.
There was some major players when it dipped under 3,000. Some major players came in because look at that volume relative to
every other day.
The days around it. All right, that's a lot of volume. That's not just you and me saying, "Oh, Bitcoin's down 3,000. Let me get $100 worth of Bitcoin."
Right.
That's some players there. All right, and it's been meandering. I don't see anything that suggests that we're going to be back down to 3,000 anytime soon. So if it were me, and I'm not in Digi right now, I'd go on and get into Bitcoin. The other thing that you might want to consider, let's see where our prices are. If you're using Coinbase, one thing you may want to consider is going from fiat to Litecoin, because Litecoin right now is well off of its highs of, what was Litecoin? We don't have the time to do all that.
65 there-ish. No, yeah, I mean.
No, Litecoin was.
Like 65, 70-ish or whatever.
No.
75. Oh, 81, that's right.
92.
92. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's right. It did go all the way up.
Yeah. So what you could do, for instance, is if you're going from fiat, let's say if you're using Coinbase, you could go from fiat to Litecoin as an example. You want to trade some other currencies, then you can move, just like you move Bitcoin into another exchange, let's say like Poloniex or Bittrex, you can move Litecoin into another exchange like Bitcoin or Bittrex. Okay, boy, you know what? I'd have to do a training on that one. I don't want to confuse anybody. Queen, so here's what you would do, Queen, real quick. Here's what you do. You move your Litecoin over to Poloniex, or you move your Litecoin over to Bittrex. Once that Litecoin is there, you can then convert the Litecoin into Bitcoin. Looking for Bitcoin to go back down or what have you, you can convert it into Bitcoin. I just confused the heck out of you. Just buy some Bitcoin. I'm sorry.
Let it go. Let it go. Trading lab stuff. Trading lab training.
Yeah, and we're here for the long haul. So we're here for the long haul. Bitcoin's going to eventually go up to 10,000 a coin, then 50,000 a coin. I see things that suggest that by 2025 it could be $1 million a coin. So let's not trip over pennies getting to dollars. We're not at the height of the market. I feel more than comfortable buying Bitcoin at 4,188 or 4,200 or what have you. So go on and get you some Bitcoin. Next question.
So you buy it as you need it.
Yep. Now, that's one of the reasons also that we want to engage with these Auto Digi platforms, because now all of a sudden you're essentially earning, either Bitcoin or you're earning cash that you can turn into Bitcoin. And I look at those commissions as free Bitcoin. And not free because I worked hard for it, but now all of a sudden you can start building your Bitcoin base and other Digi assets. Queen, we probably have time for just one more, right?
Pretty much.
Okay.
When will the advertising co-op start?
It'll start sometime in October. I'm hoping to have all of the series ready to go by the end of next week. Then I'll get, we'll start little small advertising with our search traffic guy to make sure that that's optimized. And then once he gives me the thumbs up, then we'll turn on the traffic in earnest. So, it's taken longer than what I would have liked because we've had to do this while having support and what have you. So it'll happen in October, probably towards the latter part of October.
Okay, will USI Tech be the companion to BitConnect?
USI Tech is the companion to BitConnect, and this happened again. It is a companion. We have not loaded up any USI Tech video training because we have to prioritize and get the marketing up and running. Once that is done, then we'll be able to go back. And I know USI Tech is making some modifications to their compensation plan, so we need to understand what that is, how that all works. I hear they've got some big announcements going to be coming out. Is it October, November, or something like that? So we have to see what all that is. So once we get the marketing in place, then we can focus a little bit more on USI Tech. Real quick with Regal Coin, it is up and running, but they are having some maintenance. So you can't, at least earlier today, you weren't able to get registered. For those of you that follow me, the link is in my back office with my showcase. We'll let you know when it's up and running in earnest, so that we can let you know when we're going to add that to the affiliate center so that everyone can get their links and join the proper person. They've got a binary component, so at least take a seat if nothing else. And we'll, again, after we get the marketing, we can pay more attention to USI Tech. We can pay more attention to Regal Coin, Big Club Network, so on and so forth. Okay?
Yes.
Queen,
Let's take a break and you can close this one out, and we'll be on the next one at 9:30.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you on the next webinar. Go in your back office. If you're a newbie, go in your back office, and you're going to find it on the home page under the calendar. All right, we'll see you in a few moments.